Disney Channel. What can I say about Disney Channel? I don't really know, but my view count has been dropping recently, and both my Disney Iceberg and Dr. Skipper's Nickelodeon Iceberg have been doing well, so I thought this video might get me back on track. So welcome viewers new and old. And though Disney Channel doesn't really have nearly as much controversy as, say, Nickelodeon, there have been a weird thing or two that has gone on behind the scenes, so today I'm going to break it down on this iceberg chart. Now, just as a small disclaimer, there isn't anything super dark here, so if you're looking for like decapitations or like your Dan Schneider-esque level of stuff, you're not going to find it here. However, there are a few things here or there that are a bit I'd say I know a little bit about the Disney Channel, but I don't know everything, so if I get anything wrong, and you're a Disney Channel expert, for example, and you see that I got something wrong, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, up first we have the Kim Possible Ringtone. I think this is meant to be a meme of some kind. People in the comments of the Kim Possible Ringtone video seem to really like it, but it's at the top of the iceberg. If it's not just a meme, it's going to be something so obscure that I'm not really fussed. Let's move on. Corey is the best anime. Yeah, based on this entry, I'm going to think the Kim Possible Ringtone was a meme. Anyways, according to Know Your Meme, the Corey in the House anime meme dates back to 2007 in a video titled Top 27 Anime Boobs. But yeah, the video was apparently deleted and re-uploaded, but the meme has been in the works for years. 2007 is when this meme originated, so yeah, been a long time coming, this meme. From what I found, TikTok trends just seems to be a bunch of people that have done the Disney Channel logo thing from back in the day. I don't really have too much to say about it. Again, we're at the top of the iceberg, and apart from this being a bit cringe, I don't really want to judge. So if you want to go mental with the Disney logo thing, go for it. It's called the Wand ID, and that's the next entry, but again, it's not really something I want to spend too much time on. Let's move on. Disney 365 is a news segment that airs during commercial breaks on Disney Channel. Much like its predecessor, Disney 411, it airs exclusive content like interviews with Disney Channel stars and behind-the-scenes footage to keep viewers in the know about what's going on around Disney. Probably not everything, but again, it's kind of boring, it's just news. Let's move on. Okay, my man, I'm hyped for this one, because when I was like 8, I used to play some of these games all the time. Zack and Cody's Tipped in Trouble was the absolute dog's bollocks when I was younger. Please let me know I wasn't the only one to play the shit out of this game. I distinctly remember playing it, it was lit. Yeah, great game. I was wondering if there was anything actually shameless about the Best of Both Worlds tour, but turns out there was. Basically, there was a big controversy during the performance of We Got the Party where a body double was used specifically for that song, performing pre-recorded music. Many people since questioned if Miley was ever singing live. Miley Cyrus said that it was only for a water break, and I get that, but I still feel like there's a way that you can connect to your audience even if you just have a small break, just like this. I'm going to answer the first 5 questions with as much honesty as I'll give in the comments below, so ask me anything you want, and I'll let you guys know a slight bit more about me, Mr. Fox Akimbo. Anyways, let's get back onto the content. So there are many Phineas and Ferb theories out there, but one of the most famous and a personal favourite of mine is Phineas is Doofenshmirtz's son, on the account that they have the same face shape. I've also heard a few people that theorise that Buford and Baljeet are gay for each other, but I don't really know how much weight that one has. I never noticed it as a child, but maybe there is something there I just hadn't seen. There's also another theory that I'm going to get into a little bit later, so stay tuned for that one. Chad X Ryan, another thing I had no clue about, and something that, if I'm correct, may be illegal, considering that as far as I know, both Chad and Ryan were meant to be like 15 or 16 in High School Musical, but I don't know American laws, so I'm not so sure. I didn't know that these two were coupled, so I guess you learn something new every day. The Circle of Stars is kind of like the Band-Aid Disney edition, where just a bunch of stars and Disney kids came together to sing a song. They did it frequently between the years 2003 and 2005, and then again in 2014, singing songs such as The Circle of Life, Do You Want to Build a Snowman, and A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes. Disney's Friends for Change was a nice little environmental advertisement for Disney Channel. Lucas Cruikshank, aka Fred if you're like over the age of 15, made a video on it so we can learn. Let's watch out and find out why this might be on the iceberg.
Well, turns out Disney Channel was running a charity cult.
Interesting. I don't know though, I think we need to learn more.
I think
we should read the comments. Selena Gomez was the most invested in recycling. I mean, she recycled Miley's man. There seems like there might have been some beef in the cast, but since this was like 10 years ago, I don't really care. So I wasn't sure what syndicated gaming content meant, because, well, I didn't know what syndicated meant, and after a quick Google search for the definition, it occurred to me that the only things that Disney and gaming have in common was Maker Studios. For all of you younglings that are unaware, back in the ye old YouTube days of 2011, gamers were not allowed to make just money off YouTube. They had to join a network. They all basically suck. I can speak from first-hand experience. This channel is not my first rodeo. But anyways, one of the best ones was Maker, who actually signed up PewDiePie under Polaris before dropping him over some of the jokes that he made that they didn't like. But yeah, technically, in a way, PewDiePie was a Disney employee, at least for a time. Then we have the Hannah Montana alternate ending. It's on YouTube if you want to look at it. Having looked at both endings, the alternate one is probably the weaker one, and it's a little bit more cringe, but if you want to find it, it's on YouTube. I'm just going to play a bit here. Okay, I wanted to do a bit of research into Doof X Perry. Unfortunately, I made a severe and continuous lapse of judgment, because within the first 5 fanfics, we have both The Forbidden Love and Step Brothers to Lovers. I'm not researching this one any further. Zoog Disney is a channel that was shut down in 2002 and reopened in 2014. Its kind of art is really weird and creepy, I'm not gonna lie, but apparently it targets a teenage demographic, and from what I've seen from the lineup, it just seems to be older shows that have ended. The High School Musical Contest was a competition where teens would sing and dance in the goal of winning the grand prize, which was a record deal with Disney and to be in a music video shown at the end of High School Musical 3. Some guy called Stan won it. Though I've looked, I haven't been able to actually find the music video, and so maybe they just milked poor Stan for the ratings. I'm not too sure. Arwen was meant to be a spin-off from The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, featuring Brian Stepanek as Arwen. If you've seen the show, you'll know who that is. Interestingly, Selena Gomez was also meant to be in the show, but it was never picked up. And that same year, Selena Gomez would go on to start in Wizards of Waverly Place, which coincidentally began her career, so perhaps it was a good thing. The Cypher Hunt was a promotional stunt in which Disney gave out clues, puzzles and riddles for people to study, solve and learn from, with the end goal to find a Bill Cipher statue. In total there were 12 clues scattered throughout the world, but mainly in California, and it ended in a bit of controversy because the police seized the statue the day after it was found because of disputes on the land it was on, and whether or not it was actually allowed to be there in the first place. Another failed Selena Gomez spin-off. This one was What's Stevie Thinking?, which was meant to be a spin-off of Lizzie McGuire, this one also taking place in 2007. So just head back to anything I said about the Arwen entry, that also applies here. Started her career in Wizards of Waverly Place, all that kind of stuff. The 65 episode rule was something back in the day that the Disney Channel did to try and keep production costs low. Basically, if a show hit 65 episodes, it would be cancelled if it didn't already end. There are exceptions to the rule, of course, but before 2005, if you were a show that made it to 65 episodes, you could kiss your sweet ass goodbye because the mouse was coming for you. The Geek Charming relationship. Okay, we're getting into the darker stuff now. If anyone remembers the movie Geek Charming, it turns out the two main characters, Matthew Prokop and the more well-known Sarah Hyland, were actually a couple in real life. However, after the two broke up, Hyland put a restraining order out against Prokop, who is accused of verbally and physically abusing her throughout the 4-year relationship. Matthew Prokop hasn't worked in acting since. Now, I was researching Disney Junior at DHS/California Adventure, and I couldn't really find anything. So if you know what this entry is referring to, please let me know down in the comments. But what I did find, however, and it's probably a darker thing than what this was going to be referring to, was that there's an executive on the Disney Channel that claims that she was fired for reporting sexual harassment, and if that's true, I can't even. Jocelyn McDowell, a former director of multi-platform research, says that her boss, Jimmy Blackburn, made sexist and inappropriate remarks to 2 other women in February 2015. According to the lawsuit, Blackburn told her, "I'll have your job by the end of the day. No one does this to me." These are just allegations, but they are out there. Coyote Tales is apparently a bit of lost media, and today only the German version can be found. But basically it was this project of Walt Disney's. He hosted the series. The characters of Coyote Tales were apparently the nemesis of Pluto the dog, and the dogs were voiced by Jim Cummings, who you might know as Winnie the Pooh. But after Walt Disney died, the characters were scrapped for the most part until Robert Heath directed an episode 30 years later. Again, there's only the German version that you can find, so if you speak German or you just like foreign films, I'd say maybe give it a watch. Unfortunately for me, this Iceberg is structured kind of weird, so I don't know if this entry means Phineas and Ferb Imagination Pavilion, Phineas and Ferb Imagination and then Pavilion, or if it's just Phineas and Ferb and then Imagination Pavilion being something else. But what I will say is that there's another Phineas and Ferb theory that is a personal favourite of mine, that Phineas and Ferb are dead, and Candace can't get over it. Therefore, she imagines that they're still alive, going on these wacky adventures that clearly aren't possible in real life, and that's why she can never bust Phineas and Ferb, because they don't exist anymore. Definitely not true, definitely not a thing, but it's just a fun theory. The Hannah Montana anime was a cancelled anime that was meant to be animated by Toei Animation. Apologies if I mispronounced that, but also, how many times did I just say animation or anime? Too many. Toei Animation would eventually go on to make Dragon Ball Super Broly, or Broly, whatever, which seems to have made a lot of money and got very good reviews, so good for them. I'm not too sure why this is down so deep, but perhaps it's just generally unknown that Hannah Montana was meant to get an anime. Nightmare Ned is an American animated television series that ran from April 19th to August 9th, 1997 on ABC. The show was produced by the Disney Channel. Unlike most Disney animated series though, reruns were never shown on Disney Channel or Toon Disney, and the series was never commercially released at home nor streamed on Disney+. And some think this is because Nightmare Ned was very dark, especially for the Disney Channel, in which young children can kind of access it. So it was scrapped from the Disney Channel, it's never reran. Again, another thing that's not necessarily dark but perhaps unknown is Disney Rewind or Replay, which is Disney's Adult Swim, just probably a lot less cool, in which after 12 AM the Disney Channel plays older shows that might have ended, with the idea that older fans that used to watch those shows might watch them again because they're older now and they can stay up past their bedtimes. It began in 2014 and was discontinued and moved to Freeform with a new name, That's So Throwback, on May 2nd, 2016. According to the original creator of this Iceberg, Speedruns is a category of Disney Channel games that get beaten at the fastest world record times, or just the personal best. I don't really know what that means, but this got me thinking about Disney Channel games, the old kind of competition series that dates back like 10, 15 years. I think Scott Kramer did a video on it, and it's brilliant. Definitely watch it. If you remember the Disney Channel games, go watch Scott Kramer's video on it because it's fantastic. Anyways, whilst trying to do a bit of research into that, I found an article about controversial Disney Channel episodes, many of which were simply made in bad taste, but a lot of entries promoted starving yourself and not eating in order to stay slim, which is seriously not a good moral lesson for young viewers. If you want to look at the list, I'm going to link it in the description, and it's a very interesting read because, just like any production studio, the Disney Channel has made a few faux pas here and there, and especially because it targets a younger audience, sometimes these wrong morals and ideas can be quite harmful to the people watching. But anyways, that's it from me. This video was significantly less dark in comparison to many of the ones I do, and so for my next video I want to go into darker territory. I've been thinking of making a Netflix iceberg chart myself because there aren't any online, and I know there have been a few controversies surrounding Netflix. So just in case there are any and I just haven't found them, or if anyone wants to make one, please send it to me at foxakimbo@gmail.com or message it to me at foxakimbo on Twitter. Finally, I want to sincerely thank everyone for their continued support. As I said before, my YouTube impressions have gone quite down significantly over the past few days, so please give this video a big fat like to help support the channel. Anyways, let me know what you want to see me do next because I'm only 19 videos in and I'm already out of ideas. Thank you for watching.